Good morning to each and everyone. My name is Daren Ferrer from Bachelor of Science in Secondary Education, and I'm going to discuss the cell parts and functions. I'm going to present cell parts and functions. We have plant cell and animal cell. First, let us discuss what is animal cell. Animal cells contain a wide variety of parts, each of which plays a vital role in the survival of the cell. In animal cell parts, we have the nucleus. The nucleus is the control center of the cell and houses all the cell's genetic information. Usually, a cell has a single nucleus that contains all of its DNA molecules, but some, such as skeletal muscle cells, have more than one nucleus. The nucleus protects the cell's DNA while controlling all the cellular activities such as cell division, growth, protein production, and cell death. Next is the ribosomes. The DNA molecules housed in the nucleus also contains blueprints for all the proteins produced by a cell. These blueprints are read and interpreted by ribosomes, which are the site of protein production in plant and animal cells. Ribosomes produce proteins by assembling amino acid sequences according to the instruction contained in the genetic code. The resulting polypeptide chains are then folded into specific primary, tertiary, or quaternary 3D structures by other cell organelles. Next is the mitochondria. Cells need energy to power the biochemical reactions, and most of that energy is released by mitochondria. Mitochondria are the site of respiration and the powerhouses of cells, pumping out energy which is then stored in ATP, which is the adenosine triphosphate. ATP molecules are the energy currency of cells and are used to fuel all the other activities of the cell. Next is the endoplasmic reticulum. The endoplasmic reticulum is a network of membranes inside the cell, and its main functions are to process and transport new materials. These are two types of endoplasmic reticulum. First is the rough endoplasmic reticulum and the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. The rough endoplasmic reticulum is studded with ribosomes, giving it a bumpy or rough appearance. It folds and tags newly synthesized protein before transporting them to wherever they are needed in the body, while the smooth endoplasmic reticulum does not have ribosomes attached to it and is instead involved in hormone and lipid synthesis. Next is the Golgi Apparatus. Once newly synthesized substances have left the ER, they are sent to the Golgi Apparatus. This is the series of flat membrane-bound sacs that packages and distributes substance to the other cell membrane, where they either become part of the lipid bilayer or leave the cell. Next is the lysosomes. Lysosomes are small spherical organelles that are packed full of digestive enzymes. Their key function is to break down and recycle unwanted material for the cell, such as old cell parts or invading bacteria and viruses. And also, lysosomes play an important role in apoptosis, which is the programmed cell death, aka programmed cell death. Next is the cytoplasm. The cytoplasm is a jelly-like substance that fills the interior space of cells. It is mainly composed of water. but also contains salts, enzymes, and other organic molecules. The cytoplasm surrounds and protects the organelles of the cell, is where many cellular processes such as protein synthesis and glycolysis take place. Next is the cell membrane, aka the plasma membrane. All cells are surrounded by a cell membrane, which contains of a semi-permeable phospholipid bilayer. The cell membrane controls which substance enter and leave the cell, and also separates the interior of the cell from its external environment. Now let's move on to the plant cell parts. First is the in plant cell parts. Although plant cells contain many of the same parts as animal cells, they also have some extra organelles that are absent in animal cells. First is the chloroplast. Chloroplasts are one of the most important types of plant cell organelle, as they are the site of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is a process by which the light energy from the sun is used to convert carbon dioxide and water molecules into glucose, and is how plants produce food. Next is the cell wall. Plant cells are surrounded by a tough structure called the cell wall, which is found outside the cell membrane and is mainly made of cellulose. The cell wall supports and protects the plant cells, giving them their characteristic rectangular or box-like shape. Next is the vacuole. The last is the vacuole. The vacuole is a very large organelle that can occupy up to 90% of the interior space of the plant cell. One of its key functions is the storage. The vacuole is filled with cell sap, which consists mainly of water but also contains proteins, sugars, and other molecules. Another function of the vacuole is to maintain turgor pressure, which helps the plant cell to keep its shape and prevents wilting and bursting. And that's all.